What is up, everybody? We're rolling. Andrew Ammons here on day, what is it? It's so funny. It is day 23. I am in beautiful Lubbock, Texas today, and I'm going to dual purpose this little video here. I'm gonna be posting this on my YouTube channel, as well as maybe do an Insta story depending on how long I go here. But it is day 23 in my 60-day commitment. I'm walking down the street right now. You may be wondering, why am I walking down the street? Well, it's because I had a last-minute opportunity to get in front of a serious roofing prospect in a surrounding community outside of Lubbock, Texas. So instead of riding back to Pampa from Dallas, hopped on a flight to hit the ground in Lubbock to meet up with Fernando down here, and we're gonna run and go talk to a prospect and do our best to be incredible value communicators as to why ACR is better than all the rest. So I hit the ground here at about, I think it was like 10:45, and got an Uber. Yes, believe it or not, in Lubbock, Texas, we do have Ubers. We actually have cars. For any of you guys watching this that don't believe in West Texas, we have vehicles. We have cell phones. Man, we have all kinds of crazy stuff. We even have cars that we can call with our cell phones. That's right, Uber. Now, I don't know if we have Lyft. Of course, I don't know anything about Lyft. But long story short, caught an Uber over to get something to eat. Fernando's actually with another customer right now, residential customer, talking to them about their insurance policy and some challenges that this customer actually faced because there was a hailstorm in their area a few years ago. Wow, I got serious terrain I'm walking. There's a hailstorm in their area a few years ago that they didn't take care of the damage that their roof underwent. So there was a hailstorm. Insurance company knew about it because they were replacing roofs in the area, as well as they have storm reports that take care of that stuff. We track those as well. But either way, this customer didn't take care of it. And so their full replacement policy that they had gotten a letter from their insurance last year that told them if they didn't take care of the repairs, that they were going to change, or the insurance was going to change the full replacement policy to what's called an actual cash value policy, meaning the homeowner doesn't get their depreciation when they complete repairs. So the homeowner neglected to turn in a claim because they were worried that they would get dropped by their insurance, or that they would their rates would go up. They didn't do anything about it. And so finally, the insurance company executed, I guess, some portion of their policy, which quite frankly, executed something that they can rightfully do within this person's policy, and changed it to an ACV policy, or at least they put exclusions on the roofing portion for depreciation. So I got off on a tangent there, but I think that's important. Anybody that's a homeowner or a commercial property owner that's watching, I'm seeing I'm gonna grab my keys, but I'm seeing new tactics by insurance companies consistently to make sure that you take care of repairs when repairs are actually needed, instead of letting them hang out. And that's what happened on this one. This group was, or this homeowner had hail damage. There was damage that the insurance company knew about. They sent a letter out saying, hey, you've got to take care of these damages, but just like everybody else, or a lot of people do, they neglect to do anything about the roof. They don't want to call, they procrastinate, they wait. So now Fernando is trying to get creative and work with the homeowner as well as the insurance company to try to assist in getting this roof taken care of in an efficient manner, or cost-effective manner, although it's hard when there's thousands of dollars that are left out from the insurance company because they've changed the policy. So either way, that's an important note for you guys. It's getting crazy out there. But either way, I got dropped off at Five Guys, got me a lettuce-wrapped burger. I'm gonna set you down for a second here. Got me a lettuce-wrapped burger, and made sure my Uber driver dropped me off just about a block away from the house in Lubbock. Me and my family have a rent house here that we're gonna be changing into some way of equity in soon, but right now just a temporary place that we're able to stop in, get work done, and be available to our clients and team here. Got to find my keys first. This will be great if you guys see in the middle of a video that I forgot to bring my keys. It'll be a real comfortable moment. But there's no way that's the case because I'm a prepared dude. I have my stuff ready. I always have my life in check. At least I make it look that way. So anyways, I walked over here, beautiful weather. I'm gonna sit down here. I've got a quick phone call to belt out with somebody. Can't remember who it is without looking at my calendar. While I wait for Fernando to finish up his appointment, I'm gonna hop in the truck with him. Come on now. All right, so I'm gonna hop in the truck with him from Lubbock and go meet with that prospect who I am very lucky to have gotten time to meet with. And then from there, we're gonna head back towards Amarillo, where I'm gonna ride with Fernando, and then he's going to kick me out in Amarillo, and I'm gonna continue on down the road to Tampa this evening. So sounds like a lot, but just from being strategically prepped, planned, and ready, I'll be able to knock it all out. So today, my hope is that we're able to run down there and chat with this group that I've been chasing for a little bit. And when I say provide proof or communicate the value that we can bring, it's because I know that we can bring more value and be more strategic and do the right things for this group as far as the roofing solutions. I've just got to make sure that I show up and can tell them how and what. So between all that, we're also working with the team on spinning up new parts of the administrative function as far as pre-production on our jobs and making sure that everything is moving even while I'm out doing this stuff. And really the point before I got into the rant about the insurance deal that I wanted to share with you guys today, for you small business owners, as well as really anybody involved in small business, that's probably a big part of the people that catch this, is I put a post in one of the Small Business Big Thinkers. It's actually not one of these, the Small Business Big Thinkers group. That's a collective group of me and other small business owners, strategic people. Either way, I put something in there talking about the traction that I was gaining with my companies right now as a direct result of thinking big, right? And I don't necessarily mean just thinking big like Grant Cardone 10X. I mean, I think that's a good thing. But what I mean is strategically acting like a big business. Is that shiny right now? Ooh, that's a bad look. Strategically thinking and acting like a big business while you're a small business. And what I meant by that was putting systems in place and getting rid of the I'm a small business excuses, right? I don't have the resources. I don't have the systems. I don't have the money. Like getting rid of all that and acting like a big business today breeds so much traction because you get rid of those excuses, right? You start to know and believe that I do business like a big business because that's where I want to go. And I think my post said something to the effect of, I was sharing a webinar that I did for Break Free Academy to give some free information about some of the systems that I've used and 3 secrets and goals, goals. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is where I get on my rant and it's like, I forget what I'm saying, but I'm trying to make my point. So let me reel back in. 3 secrets that I've used to build ACR Commercial Roofing, Ammons Roofing, and Verde Landscape Companies. Now keep in mind, Verde Landscape Companies is my baby and the one that I've been working for 10 plus years, ACR and Ammons Roofing. I have just recently in the past few years been so lucky as to work with my brother and dad in partnership to grow those businesses. So I can't totally say that I built Ammons Roofing. My dad owned and operated that business for 28 plus years before I was necessarily anything more than a salesman. The point is, I was sharing a video, I was sharing information about that webinar in Big Business, or Small Business Big Thinkers Facebook group. And I got to thinking about small business challenges that we face. And right about that time, I was actually text messaging a prospect. That's right, text messaging. I text more than I do anything. Because calling and leaving somebody a voicemail is just flat ass rude. by my standards today. Nobody wants to talk on the phone. So I was texting one of my big commercial prospects around the Amarillo area, just a quick check-in, and I was asking him about kind of where they were at, if they were planning on doing anything on the proposals that we had given them. And his text back to me were basically the guy that I was working with, or in partnership with him, was no longer at the company anymore. They were still planning on doing something in the future, but right now they weren't doing anything other than trying to get some transitions in place and get them dug out of the hole that they had dug for themselves. This is a multi-billion-dollar business. This is a big business. I'm talking their Amarillo facility has huge manufacturing warehouse facilities. Somebody that you would never think would come and say, we're digging ourselves out of the hole that we got ourselves in. And so I jokingly responded to him and said, hey, I thought that was just, I thought that was a small business folk that had to deal with digging ourselves out of something, whether it be a financial situation or a personnel situation, whatever it is. And that was a joke because obviously I recognize that every business is the same, but it still took me off guard a little bit. It's like, man, this guy who is a part of this huge, not national, international company is telling me they've got to put the hold on some roof repairs because they've got personnel changes and are digging themselves out of a hole that they put themselves in. So the point is, I want to encourage everybody that whether you're small business, medium business, big business, owner operator, or just a startup, everybody's going through the same stuff, right? Everybody's going through the same stuff. And one thing I did mention Grant Cardone earlier that he does say in his book 10X is, I'm going to draw a blank. No matter where I am, there I go. And it's something to the effect of, later on, he explains just recognizing the fact that if you're the problem, then you're the solution, right? If Jim is the problem, then you have no control over the solution. So if you're the problem, if you look at every situation that your company or yourself get into and assign yourself the responsibility of the problem, then you can control the solution. And I think that really applies as business leaders, as well as business managers. I guess that's kind of the same thing. Business owners as well as business leaders, is that even if something isn't directly your fault, like you can't objectively tie blame to yourself. If you look at the mirror and think, what could I have done differently to achieve a different result? All of a sudden you're in control of the solution. And so there's that aspect of it, but there's also the aspect of it, there's Andrew going back and forth. There's also the aspect of this multi-billion-dollar company that I was just talking about, goes through the same grind and the same hustle. And if you're using today an excuse that because you're a small business, you keep getting in these cash crunches or you keep getting in these situations because you don't have the resources, imagine what it takes for a multi-billion-dollar international company to dig themselves out of a hole. It's a hell of a lot harder than what you've got to do when you have a situation like that. So, I've got a couple people that I need to get in touch with, and I need to get prepped before Fernando gets here. If you're curious about some of those systems I was talking about, just go to the Small Business Big Thinker group and ask to be a part of it, or check me out at nextlevelservicepro.com. That is next, N-E-X-T, levelservicepro.com. I've got a lot of free blogs, articles, videos, as well as a link to that free webinar. It's right there on the front page to where I talk about some of these systems and things like that. And my hope with that webinar, as well with the whole Service Pro Success System, is that I can reach as many service pros that are within the industry as possible to network with, so that I can create more professionalism, less cash flow problems, and better people within our industry and small business in general. Because if I'm able to do that, I'll be able to network with you, we'll be able to work together most likely, and there will be more for each of us to grab out of the big success pie that's right there in front of us. So you guys have a good one. I'm gonna hop right inside here. Dog just recognized I'm here, and get going with my Tuesday. I'll check you out later on the 24th. Maybe that's right. See y'all later.